Hello, folks. Welcome. Here I am, Louisiana Beer Reviews from Louisiana. There is Eric Thomas Meadow from Massachusetts Beer Reviews. There is Maria Devon, the girl next door from New York. And tonight, get ready, because we are looking at Anchor's Old Stock Ale. I have the 2015 edition.
I have the 2015 edition.
We all got 2015s.
So it's gonna be hot.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hot. Okay, now I don't know when this beer came out, because after all, the website tells me that the company wasn't founded until 1988, so it couldn't have been too long ago. The whole operation's only 27 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But what does it tell me? I'm getting a little echo. Eric, where's that coming from?
No echo on my end.
I'm hearing it.
Could it be me? I don't think so.
My mic might be too high. Okay. It's brewed with Maris Otter malt. Oh yeah, I hear that echo. And Fuggles and East Kent Goldings hops, all imported from England. It's 11.9% alcohol, and it's 34 international bitterness units. So low bitterness, relatively low, 34, but relatively high alcohol. So if super hoppy is your thing, this ain't your thing. If super booze bomb is your thing, this might be your thing. And this says the brewmaster is Mark. Oh, I can't read that. It's too scribbly. Fort Bragg, California. I've never been there, but I've been to California. It says recommended temperature 60 degrees. Oh, well.
Yeah, this thing's going to have to take a while to warm up. This is at refrigerator temperature.
It's showing that chalice glass. Well, I don't exactly have that style of glass. I do have something that's similar.
I'm just going to use one of these.
I have this.
I can't imagine that the style makes a big enough head for the head retention to even matter with what kind of a glass you use.
Now these
it's got so much ABV, it shouldn't. It would be a little strange if it did, I would think.
Yeah,
these
that's what I'm
old
thinking.
ales. Yeah, these old ales are from England, right? The style. And I know Jeff Lyons, and oh, there's some smoke on mine. Jeff Lyons and myself, he's from New England Beer Reviews. We did the Shipyard Double Old Thumper. We did a 22-ounce bottle, and I mean, we were having trouble staying coherent at the end. That beer is so strong. Okay, now I'm getting some cake sediment at the bottom, you all. Definitely.
Yeah, there might be something at the bottom, yeah.
No, mine, I didn't really pour my whole bottle, but maybe there's some sediment at the bottom. I didn't pour any just now. I won't get to the bottom for quite a while.
It looks pretty hazy. I can't really notice many particulates in the beer itself.
The color with the light shining out is pretty copper brown, huh? With the light coming through it, it's almost like a rust red, maybe.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement.
Not much head.
Very orangey. It has the appearance of like a piece of candy. There's a slight haze. There's no head, just this thin ring around, and it's just a glow. It's softly a glow, and it has a beautiful blush in there that's just so delightfully orange. It looks like a piece of candy.
Yeah, like Werther's.
Like something.
That dark Werther. Hey,
just looks good. Give me some.
Who has had this before?
I had this once a couple of years ago in a sample at a beer fest in Boston. I remember nothing of the beer, so it's kind of like the first time, really.
Maria?
No, I've not had this one. This is my first time.
Oh, interesting. Have you two had a lot of experience with old ales?
Not really. I'm about to post my bourbon barrel aged arrogant bastard video to my YouTube page, and I looked up, and when I was looking up that old ale style, according to the beer certification guidelines and beer kit, it's like anything over 7% could be considered an old ale.
Yes, and isn't double bastard and double bastard would be considered something like that, right?
Yes, but it's such a big old term that a lot of different beers could almost be categorized under that particular beer style.
Yeah, and I think Samuel Smith's Yorkshire Stingo is probably the same style. And
I would think so.
how
Yeah.
about Fuller's Vintage Ale?
Yes. Had that one.
It's similar to barley wine, right?
Yeah. If I look at I have the guide. There's actually an app you can download. That's the Beer Certification Guidelines app. They had a little bit of a description on exactly what, well, in a nutshell, what an old stock ale is supposed to be.
Okay. Now, Maria, what are you getting on the aroma? Because I see you.
Well, I was gonna say, I think that the old ale is supposed to be similar to barley wine, but less hoppy, less American hop. Like barley wines, I'm thinking of the English style. They would just be too thick, too rich to be an old ale. I think the old ale is supposed to be a little bit thinner as far as the mouthfeel goes, but I'm not real sure.
They say
And it will show you optional flavors that the barley wine doesn't, and it shouldn't be using any of the American hops in the old ale. It should be noble hops, which this one has.
Yeah, the old. I guess the big difference. I guess really the big difference is supposed to be just some kind of like a matured or some kind of an aged quality that barley wines tend to have, while an old ale. You know, a barley wine is supposed to have more of a matured quality, while a old ale is supposed to have more of a barrel quality, I guess.
You mean the oxidation, the sherry type oxidative properties that they say that this one has, right? Because I don't think that barley wine is supposed to have those, the oxidized sherry-like flavors, and this one can. And I think that's another main difference, right? Is that what you meant?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we got that out the way.
Well, they're saying here. Hold on a second. They're saying here on the old stock site, it says dark chestnut amber hue. We all saw that. Exotic winey aromas. Shock.
What kind of aromas? I'm getting like nutty, toffee, like treacly aromas. With those Goldings hops, I can make those out.
I tell you what, I'm getting like dates and figs, and I hear a car screeching out. I hope I don't hear gunshots in a minute. Because I'm diving, but then I'll get back up if I'm able to. Now,
It's almost got a Belgian yeast kind of a thing going on to it. It's almost a little bit of a funky earthiness going on too.
Yeah, and I agree with Maria saying the nuttiness.
Yeah.
You know. Well,
something dark, fruity, and mysterious about the smell. Definitely.
I'm getting a lighter fruit, like I said, like the figs or dates. I'm sorry, dates.
Yes.
Maybe figs, but boy, it's a strong smelling beer.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the nose.
Anyone ready to taste it?
Yeah, man, let's do it. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, Clink.
Hope to see you all next week.
And that could be a problem because nobody can get Anchor Old Foghorn. All right.
This is very similar to the English style barley wine. Aren't you surprised, Eric, that it is? It's pretty close.
Not to cut you off there, but that beer is an intense sip. Wow. Wow.
I think it is really similar, but it is definitely thinner. At least my perception of it is. Mine is not terribly chewy, at least not yet, but it is really nutty, has lots of caramel.
Wow.
Whew. I'm getting California raisin.
Something like that, yeah.
You know, the golden raisin, not the gold raisins. You know those yellow ones. Now this is what they say on this Zithology book that I'm looking at. Zithology, the study of beer. It says strong ale. It says English strong ales have a full body with a grainy, malty sweetness. Fermentation characteristics such as fruity estery flavors should be part of their profile.
Yeah, there's definitely an estery. I'm getting just like in that smell, I'm getting that estery sort of a yeasty, bready, brown bread crust, malty kind of a thing with all that fruit just combined together with some kind of sweetness.
Yeah.
Really what I'm getting. And you can really notice when I was just saying like, wow, you can really notice an 11.9%. But I don't really notice that the 11.9% is really much of a burn. It just is a very well-perceived warmth.
Keep drinking it, and you're going to feel a warmth.
It is. It's very pleasant. I have to admit, I agree with you, Eric. It's like a pleasant little warmth at the end of it. You know, it does bring you a lot of complexity and a big sweet flavor. So luckily, the alcohol comes in at the end with that little ting, shows you a little bit of its own.
Tiny itty-bitty, a little tiny burn now that I think about it, but it's not enough to make the mouth feel unenjoyable for the style at all.
No, I don't think so either. And I think it does taste a lot like a fruit cake or a candy even. It has all those sweet, dark flavors in it. You know, the caramel, the toffee that I'm tasting, and just the beautiful, soft cake-like bready malt. I think that's the real treat of this.
Fruit cake, and Eric said brown bread. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's definitely all of that. It's kind of it's sort of complex, right?
It's definitely complex for sure.
Now, you know, Beer Advocate says it's outstanding. Their second highest possible score. The Bros say it's outstanding. Rate Beer saying 99 out of 100.
Ooh, then it must be good. If both sites agree, then it must be good.
The stars have aligned in the beer reviewing world.
Oh yeah, well this beer's won many awards, and it's so inexpensive relative to what you're getting.
Right. Absolutely.
I think mine was $3.25. I could be wrong, but something like that. I think it's about probably between $12 and $15 for a 4-pack. But John Sharon found a bottle for $21.99, and I said no, that's the old
reserve version,
old stock reserve, which is really expensive. I'd like to try it, but I never have been willing to shell out that kind of money, you know. But why should I? Well, it's terrible to say that. This one is so good for $3.25, and I can get two 12-ounce bottles for $6.50. So heck, why would I want to pay $21?
Right there, yeah.
Why would I want to pay $21.99 for one that's 16.9 ounce bottle? Which I don't see how it could be much better than this, because this is like top of the line.
Yeah.
Item, right? This is a top of the line item right here to me.
I don't think I saw a bigger one. I don't think I saw a bigger size bottle. This was it. When I went to the store, it was this one or none.
Yeah, you might run across one if you see one with the cork and the cage. Look carefully. Look carefully, because the labels are very similar. Yep. But the one that John was looking at is going to say reserve. And I believe there's a barrel aged also, if I'm not mistaken. Well, how about
the one that they have out recently? It says at the store's website that's pretty close to me. It says it's the old stock reserve that it's been aged in brandy barrels, 500 milliliters.
Yeah,
very interesting.
It is. This one has lots of complexity, though. I mean, can you say that you're not enjoying it? It's not complex enough. It needs to be in a barrel, because it's offering quite a bit, I think.
No, and you know, it makes me think of brandy a little bit. Of course, brandy's even stronger, and I think brandy has a lighter mouthfeel.
It almost has like some kind of a liqueur type of like an oiliness or a slickness.
That's what I was thinking, liqueur. Yeah, because it's so nutty, and it's so and just the mouthfeel.
But good grief, the mouthfeel is so heavy. It's like gruel. It's chewy. I mean, this son of a gun is chewy like a gruel, like a
fudgy brownie or something.
A porridge or something. I don't know. I couldn't take too much of this. 12
I
ounces is
don't think
perfect.
so. I think the mouthfeel is lovely on this, and that the hops are beautifully presented, so that like they're actually finishing this beer as malty as it is, right? With all this malty
Yeah.
layered maltiness, you've got your caramel, you've got your even, crisper, brittler toffee flavor winding its way in there. You have that nuttiness, but then you have these Goldings hops finishing this with just their little sweet herbal as this comes to the finish. I love it, and I don't think it's the least bit chewy. I think it's fullish, but still, it's not like I didn't make the chewy face, so.
No, it's making me want to smack my lips every time that I'm done with the sip, and my tongue, for whatever reason, keeps touching the roof of my mouth. I'm not really sure why that is, but it's giving me that kind of sensation after having that initial sip.
Well, I think I read on their website that they want you to sip it, put
Yeah.
it
Who would chug
half
this?
and half, and they're right, because I can feel how pleasant it is already.
Hey, Paul, Paul from Texas wanted to join us, but he's always on the fly if he's got the kids and they start screaming and fighting, But he was telling me he bought the beer and he was going to drink it, but he will tell you up front he doesn't really like beers like this. He likes the flavor, but he can't stand to drink them because they're just too strong.
And
so
he doesn't have anybody to share it with.
he said if I can get my wife to drink it, but she'll probably. But I know her, and she'll take 2 sips and say, "Oh no, it's."
Yeah, it's not for everybody. This is not for everybody's palate.
And she's a major beer drinker now. I mean, I have been to their house, and she has knocked back some serious beer. But usually it's like, man, something's going on. It's usually lighter-bodied lagers, and
Yep.
But I mean, she can do some pretty impressive work. But this kind of thing is a little too heavy for her. But all right, so I want to take a picture of mine. So while I'm taking a picture to put on Beertopia and on Beer Advocate, what are you drinking now? What are you drinking now? And we have some very important moderators on that little section there, of which I know one personally. Also, New Beer Sunday, another famous moderator.
Yay,
Okay.
Beer Sunday! Yay, Beertopia! I'm a member of all those, Jay. Yay, Beer Advocate! What else did you say?
League of Extraordinary Beers.
Yay!
I'm hearing so many sirens. They must have had a 100-car wreck. Sounds bad. But
No old stock ale for them.
y'all talk. Oh, I mean, it doesn't sound good. Y'all talk about the body. I want y'all to talk about the mouthfeel while I'm taking a photo. I think the body is heavy.
Yeah. I was talking about that it sort of makes me smack my lips and touch the roof of my mouth, and it has a little bit of that, like I mentioned a little bit earlier. It has a little bit of that oily kind of a slickness to it, but I think that's stylistically appropriate. Obviously in a light lager beer that would be a very bad sign to me, but this is all very, very stylistically appropriate. I think Maria might have talked about it a little bit earlier, but it seems to have a little bit of a thinner mouthfeel than, say, a barley wine like the Bigfoot or something like that. Just a tad thinner than that, to me.
I was actually surprised at how thin I thought the mouthfeel was. I was expecting big and chewy when I got the initial flavors, that nuttiness, that caramel, and the toffee. I expected chewy, and I don't think I got it. I think I got fullish, but not quite as full.
I would say it's
What
pretty.
I was looking for was those oxidized flavors, because I find those elusive, and I don't know. I don't think I can smell anything I would say is oxidized right on the nose, and I don't think I can taste anything. I mean, do you guys? Can you pick out that feature in this particular beer?
No, but I pick up, like I said, I pick up the excuse me, the caramel. I pick, and this is mild. This is mild. Caramel, mild toffee, the dates. The finish is boozy. It's not super boozy, but I mean, I'll tell you what, 11.9. If you drink too much of this, you're gonna run into some real problems. I mean,
yeah.
I'm gonna drink some hot tea after this. My beer drinking has ended for the night.
I'm going to drink all of mine. I'm not going to stop until mine's gone.
Wait. I mean, after I finish the bottle, I never leave the bottle. Okay, I always finish it, but I'm saying
Good man.
Unless it's a few beers I'm thinking of, but you know,
Earthquake high gravity lager.
no, I made a mistake and drank the whole thing, and it made me
I
throw
almost
up.
bought one yesterday, and I said, I'm not doing that.
Oh, it was
That's
horrible.
no fun. You don't want to throw up.
It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. But camo, I didn't go through that. You saw the video. I slung it against the fence, and I said, "Damn you, camo!"
That's right.
But this is diametrically opposed to that. That is the worst of the worst, and this is to me, one of the best of the best. I mean, for $3.25, I mean that's like getting a Cadillac for Chevrolet prices, but
I think so. I have to agree with you. It is very, very delicious in a way that's festive, right? This is not your everyday, like Eric said, your throw it back lager. This is one you're going to sip, you're going to savor it, you're going to put it in a smaller glass and take your time with it.
Specifically designed for contemplating the flavors and thinking about them.
Not exactly a pool party beer.
Not typically that style, but I suppose anybody that's a beer geek could make it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
you never know what's a pool party beer, right?
I think
but
that would be more like
supposed to be. Nope.
That'd be more like your Keystone Light.
Yeah, Natty Light coming up.
Yes, that's true. Well, another important question. Still hearing that echo. Would you buy the beer again?
Would I buy the beer again? I would like to do the whole buy a 4-pack, try one, and then age the other 3. I'm really curious about that because I think this style, even with it saying 2015 all over the bottle, I think it's designed, one of the things about it is it's designed to try to age and see what it does. So maybe I might want to do that and try it. It's a good beer.
So you would buy it again, Maria?
I'm not a big buy it again person, and I don't want to mislead anyone by saying that, but I bought the single of this one, and I would do like Eric said and buy one and age the other. That would be okay with me, and it is a beer I would recommend, but I don't necessarily buy these huge beers again. They're more like take them and then I'm done, one and done.
Right.
And for a lot of beer, that's how I am.
But wait a minute, when I asked that...
This beer, it's a lot of beer that I'm like that, one and done.
Yeah, but when I asked that question, it's sort of like a backhand way of asking if you like it.
I did. I liked it very much. As a matter of fact, I liked it so much that I might buy it again. But and I would certainly recommend it, and it's going to get a very high review from me. But as far as buying stuff again, I'm not a big buy it again. I like to buy it once and go on to the next beer.
Right. These examinations are a way of doing a beer review and not calling it a review.
Yeah.
It's not a review. It's an examination.
Well, I mean, and that's my habit at the store. Like when I was at the store, this week I was looking for new beer. If I didn't find new beer, I didn't buy it. But that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. I'm like you in a lot of ways. I like to try it and move on. But I remember this guy that, but there was a guy that he still does beer reviews on occasion, but he's the one I stole the idea from because he used to do these revisits, and I said, that's a good idea. I'm going to start doing that also. And it's nice to go back 3-4 years later and see if you liked it as much as the first go round. And I did a beer this week, and it was exactly the same score as 4 years before, or a couple of years before. It was like kind of okay, and now it's still kind of okay. But anyway, so this was a very interesting examination, I think, because this beer is a beer that I think every enthusiast should try.
Yeah, I was going to say that I kind of think that this beer almost has gained legendary status in the craft beer world. For sure.
Yeah, try it at home without driving.
or designate the driving to your best pal.
Because if you drink this and drive, you're going to see the end of that flashlight. But maybe not if you drink one. But if you drink two, You're getting stopped. Yeah, you're getting stopped. I'm sorry.
And that's just it, right? With this style, you really wouldn't drink two. By the time you're done with this, you would think your afternoon would be spent. I mean, it's a sipper.
Yeah, and that's why I don't go to beer festivals. People are always inviting me. Like, I was invited to a beer festival last month, the Bayou Beer Fest in Houma, Louisiana. They wanted me to be a judge.
Wow.
Check this out. We want you to be a judge. I said, I'm not BJCP certified. Oh, they said, we don't care about that. They knew who I was. I said, well, wait a minute. There's two problems. First problem, there's a lot of college football on today. I'm not missing those games to go drink beer and talk about it. Secondly, how can I drink all this beer and drive back home from, 50 miles away? I mean, that's just asking for trouble. I was like, I don't need that in my life. And they're like, yeah, that's a good point. So I never go to beer festivals. If I pay $50 for beer, I'm going to drink $50 worth.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to be able to exit the facility.
You got to go to a major city. You got to go to a major city where public transportation can save you for those events.
Right. I mean, I don't need all that. So,
exactly.
I don't go to those beer festivals. They would be fun, but they would be problematic.
Probably.
And I don't need problematic. If I'm at my house, okay, I'll tell you a little story real fast, and we're about to get off. Two instances. How do you say that word? All right. I'm getting down to the end. I was drinking the Double Bastard one time, and I said, I'm going to do a review. And I drank the Double Bastard, and I was like, oh, this is really good. It's got very similar flavors to what we're drinking tonight. So I drank it, I was drinking it, and then I bought some fried chicken, and I was eating the fried chicken. I was drinking it. I started laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. Video was like a total disaster, right? I was like, there's no way this is getting posted, so I deleted it. Okay, no problem. I bought it again a couple of months later, and I reshot it. No one ever knew, nothing ever happened.
Where's that video at? We got to see it.
That's gone. So then, second time, I bought, and this beer is no longer made, I bought Coney Island barrel-aged human blockhead. Oh, that beer was devastating, okay? It came in a 22-ounce bomber. It was 11.7% alcohol.
I see it on...
aged in bourbon barrels. It was very similar to Bourbon County, but it wasn't quite as strong. So I drank, I was drinking it one day, and I said, well, I'm halfway through the bottle, and I was thirsty. Now, why did I not get up and get some water? But I was like, nah, this beer's not affecting me. Literally, I was halfway through the bottle. I was like, no effects. I'm thirsty. I'm going to drink it. It's really smooth and mellow. So I poured the second half of the beer, and I'm like, everything's copacetic. And then literally in a second, in 1 second, I'm sitting where I am right now. I said, I need to get up and lay down on the floor for a minute. So I got up and I laid down on the carpet, and I was laying and looking at the ceiling. I said, I'm just going to lay here for just a minute, and I'm going to be fine. So I woke up, and I said, well, I needed that 15 minutes because this beer was so strong. But it was 2 hours later.
Wow.
I got scared because
okay, that was it. You
Where's that beer review?
And then I got back up here in this chair, and I got on Facebook, and I had put all kind of stuff on the internet, and I did not recall doing it. And I was like, wow.
Like what I did the other time we did a review, right? And you posted your link on my page, and I was like, oh, my post, and I started posting all my stuff.
Oh yeah, I said, uh-oh.
Oh no, I posted all my stuff on the wrong post.
Right, and I said to myself, Houston, we got a problem. But that's all right. I took care of it. But no, that's comical and it's funny and all that. But the main point is that if you're going to do this, do it at home. You do not need these kind of problems in your life. And make sure that you know where you're going in your house. These tabletops can be sharp, and you get a cut, and you just don't need it. All right, but
there's your life lesson, people, for the beer reviewing world.
and I'm still hearing the sirens. So, all right, but anyway, I think this beer is fantastic. You know, all levity aside, it's a fantastic beer. Anybody, I think, could afford $3.25, and I guess that's probably
Worth
what.
a couple of dollars.
Oh yeah, it's great, but stop at one. One is enjoyable. Two, you may have some problems.
Okay.
Any other final thoughts?
World-class beer. Everybody should try it. Yeah. Woo.
Wow, Eric says world class, just like rape beer. What do you say, Maria?
I really like it. I think it's exceptional. I think the flavors are outstanding. I think that the malt complexity is special, and that when you first go to taste this beer, you'll be pleasantly surprised. For as hoppy as it smells, with those Goldings hops to be very fragrant on the nose, it's terrifically malty. It's sweet, but it's not syrupy. I think it's lovely. I am enjoying it, and I'm glad you suggested we try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everything a super strong beer should be.
Last comment I noticed before we go is, as it seems to be warming up right now, it seems to have a dangerously, might I add, when it warms up, it seems to have a little bit of a higher drinkability. I think it's a little bit thinner, and I think some of the flavors, some of that sweetness tends to mellow out somewhat and makes it an even more enjoyable beer. So when they say try it at 60 degrees, that's probably a really good temperature to try it at, I bet.
Yes, I agree with that.
That's where I'll end with that.
Okay, well, next week is a very,
confusing week.
Yeah, it's a similar week. We're doing Anchor Old Foghorn, which is about 9.4 this year. Now, that's an interesting and exciting beer because Anchor Old Foghorn, get this.
Number one.
It's been around for 40 years. This is the 40th anniversary of Old Foghorn. It's the first modern American barley wine style ale from San Francisco, and I've got one in my fridge. And as far as the old stock, I've got a 2013 I'm aging. I'm trying to do it for 5 years, so that would be 2018. I've got a Brooklyn. Hey, I've got Brooklyn Monster from 2012. The last year they made that beer. Why they ever discontinued that, I'll never know.
That's actually quite lovely. You're going to enjoy that. If you have one from 2012, I'm envious.
I got the same age as him with the 2012 as well.
Yeah, I bought it for a very low price, and I'm going to try to go 5 years on it. So that's pretty exciting. And I've got some other beers I'm trying to go 5 years on. And so anyway, this was a really exciting beer, probably one of the most interesting examinations I think we've ever done.
Very, very true. I agree.
All right, so thank you, and maybe we'll see some people next week. I've got the Anchor Old Foghorn. Eric's got it, and I don't know about anybody else. It looks like it could be a problematic situation.
We could have to do a random off night or something. I don't know.
No, we're going to do it. We're doing it next Wednesday, and if it's just you and I, we'll examine it.
All right.
We'll get very detailed, but maybe Maria will find it. I don't know.
I hope so. I did look for it. I didn't see it. I'll look for it some more. I mean, I still have time.
Yeah, and that Old Foghorn, you're going to notice a lot different hop profile. It's got a lot of hop action going on.
Sweet.
Okay, thank you, folks, and y'all have a good and pleasant and safe evening and week.